What a damn mess. Hello YouTubes! Welcome back, Haunt Fam. So it's been about 2 weeks since Halloween. I'm still tearing stuff down and trying to shove it in little hidey holes and make space for everything. My bench is overrun. I got no way to do a project, so let's go in the house. Let's take a look at the little project I finish up. I'm going to show you guys my cabinet of curiosities. Okay, YouTube, so here's our actual cabinet. It's about 100 years old, from Indonesia. Bought it off Facebook Marketplace from a guy named Vern. We deal with sometimes we buy older pieces of furniture. And it's a beautiful cabinet. It's about 7 feet tall. It's almost so big you can't get the whole damn thing in the frame. One of the cool things though is it actually comes with the original skeleton key for the lock on it. Okay, YouTubes, so we're in the house. What is actually a cabinet of curiosities? It's sort of like a thing that came from Victorian times when people would gather, sort of like Victorian TV, pre-TV and internet and all that stuff, where people would sit and have conversation starters and, go over show what their greatest finds were, shrunken heads and all kinds of stuff when they travel overseas, exotic pieces, all kinds of stuff. So it's actually a pretty old cabinet. Got latches inside, but I kind of store all my taxidermy in here and some of my cool pieces I thought I'd show you guys. I got a bunch of different stuff, kind of keeps the dust off, it keeps it all in one place, except for my shark jaws. Those were out there by the swamp witch, so you guys have seen my crow before. I've shown this. I've done a couple of taxidermy videos. I'll link them below in the description if you guys want to go back and take a look at them. I've gotten some new pieces since then, but I usually keep all my stuff in here. I've got a ram skull, was my latest big piece, because I plan on molding this guy, so you'll see him later on my channel. I want to whack his horns off and mold this skull so we can do some cool rigid foam projects for stabs and some other stuff. I thought that'd be really awesome. But it's a beautiful ram skull. I think it came out of England, I think, was where I got this from. But he's got his full rack of horns, awesome horns. Love it, so gotta have me a ram skull. We're gonna use him for projects later on the channel. A lot of other stuff I like to do is collect little gaffs and little stuff like that. I got a couple of stones here that are just hand-carved stones. I think this guy is dragon stone, and this guy is serpentine. I didn't know serpentine actually came in red. But I think I found these at little shows. I thought they were pretty cool, so I kind of keep them in my cabinet. This guy right here is a Ecuadorian three-eyed skull, and it's a fake. Psh, I made this, guys. It's really cool. It's another cool thing about the cabinet of curiosities. I love gaffs, and I love old taxidermy. And you can make this stuff yourself and tuck it in your cabinet, and nobody will know. It makes for an awesome display. This is just a foam Nightmare Maker skull that I went ahead and used air dry clay on top. I put some little cracks and kind of shaped the skull and the brow and the chin. I blew out all the teeth. I molded my own teeth, and I kind of drilled them out and glued them in there, and I just aged the skull. Put a piece of copper water pipe underneath and a chunk of 2x10 that I cut down and sandblasted and burnt with the torch, and you can make your own gaff. And I want to do a project real soon that shows you guys how to kind of like make your own gaffs and stuff like that and age stuff. So hopefully that'll be coming on the channel pretty soon. But yeah, it's my little three-eyed skull. I thought that was pretty cool. I haven't seen one. I figured, I'll just make one. Why not? So I go ahead and I keep him here in the cabinet. I've got some of my other smaller specimens. Like I've got my fire bat. I've got my little orb weaver spider. I just got those little nails I put up in there and hang those up. I've got the, get this one down. Got the world's largest ant. Another one of my collections. I don't know if I've ever shown this guy before, but I'm loving the bugs. I got a ton of bugs. I've got this is the peacock butterfly, my fire bat, the orb weaver. Like I said, my crow. I've got a set of boar's tusks. These are real. I went ahead and resin filled them because I went ahead and just I molded them. I got to have teeth for some of my projects, so I got a set of boar's tusks off of eBay. They're real, and I figure, hey, when I'm done with them, I'll just throw them in the cabinet and keep them with everything else in case I need to go back and look at them later. What else I got here on the top shelf? I got a little dagger I made. I actually made this on my channel. I've got a video for it. I'll find it and I'll link it below if you guys want to go back and see it. It's just a cheapy dagger from Amazon, or letter opener, and I just used Sculpey clay on top of the handle after I cut it all apart and baked it, and I got my own little cool custom dagger. I thought that was pretty cool. So you guys can actually make your own stuff and fill a cabinet with it, man. Even though it's fake, it's still pretty cool. I've got, I think these are my latest ones, is my, I got this right before the end of summer. This is my snapping turtle skull. This thing is just awesome. I'd like to actually mold this thing one day because it's just so freaking cool, man. The top of the head's got so much texture. He's got his little lip skin on there. You can get them with the lips or without sometimes. Sometimes they pop on and off depending on who the taxidermist is. But that's just a crazy little cool skull that I really love. That's one of my faves. And it's, pretty small too, so. What else I got in here? You guys have seen a bunch of my other ones. This one is a badger skull. Pretty gnarly little teeth on that guy. You guys know anything about honey badgers? They're like insane little animals. But I don't mind, like most of my skulls having the oil in them that are stuck inside the pores. I kind of like that. It makes them look like old museum pieces, and that's really the whole spirit of having a cabinet of curiosities, that it looks like old stuff. So I don't like all my stuff being pristine, bleached white. Just not my thing. And I'll show you guys that when we do our like museum piece. I want to do sort of like a gaff video. I got some things I want to dress up, you know. I've got another lynx with just a band of, again, oil across the top of the skull. And I think it's awesome. I don't have any issues with that. It's a beautiful lynx. Got all its teeth. So I just love horde and taxidermy skulls. I think they're awesome. I did the monkey too. You guys have seen the monkey I did. I'll put that down below. I'll go back and I'll find the video. And I'll link my monkey skull in there. And I like to stick some small weird pieces I found. Like, so I've got this little Baba Yaga I found on, I think it was Etsy. It's carved stone. Thought it was really sharp. So I'm like, man, I gotta put that in my cabinet too. That's just too cool not to have indoor type of things. I'm a big fan of Baba Yaga. I love all the folk tales and stuff about her. And my crow, like I said, can't really touch American birds. A lot of stuff's illegal. So if you got illegal stuff in your cabinet, you got company coming over, just hide it. Crows, they added those to the Migratory Bird Act. I think it was 1917. In America, they were added somewhere around the 40s, I think. So you can't find a crow carcass on the ground, take it in, have it taxidermy. You're not even supposed to have the feathers or the skull or bones or anything. So this guy is from England. The guy is awesome. He does magpies. He does crows. I love his work. He's called Bird Taxidermy. I'll find his shop and I'll link him below. Everything I have that you guys see that I have a video for, I'll go ahead and I'll link it below so you guys can look through the description and find the stuff for yourself if you want to go back and see more. Let's see, that's all my top shelf. Yeah, okay. So my second shelf, I've got some of my spiders back here. I use another shop off Etsy that I really love. They're called Tarantula Box, and that's where I get most of my spiders from. Here's a little pokey. No, this is Antiscaria girancola, so this is Brazilian. I love tarantulas, and these come right out of the box. I love these guys. They do a great job. This one's Butterfly Artist, but most of my spiders are from Tarantula Box on Etsy, which I will also link below for you guys. I love horde and spiders. They're great for reference to look at. Again, just another cool item that you can put in your own cabinet of curiosity. I've got a big monster elephant beetle back here. I got him at a show a couple years ago. He's huge. I got a couple of wet specimens. Here's a little snake, a little hog nose that made it into my shop and died. So I found him and I tucked him in a little bottle and filled him up with 90% alcohol. And he's been pretty much good ever since. He hasn't turned or anything. I haven't changed the water not even once or changed his alcohol even once. And then I've also got a bat wet specimen, and he's still doing fine. I've actually got a video for him on my channel too, which I'll go dig it up and I'll link it below. But he's still doing great. Found him in my neighbor's garbage. But the little bat, he's still doing good. For all the people who've watched that video and asked about him, he's still hanging out in his little bottle and he's doing great. Let's see, this is my, I don't know if I showed real out my big skulls. This is my wolf skull, Alaskan gray wolf. Again, another beautiful skull, beautiful animal. I'd like to mold all these skulls one day and have copies of them to use for projects. But he's got all his teeth. I've had this one for a lot of years. And now that I have a cabinet, it's cool that I have a place to store them. And I can see them and then not worry about them getting all dusty and crap. And I go ahead and sometimes I tuck some of my my antique books in there. I got a lot of books that are pretty old. This is The White Monk of Timbuktu, William Seabrook. I like to hoard old books too. I'm a book hoarder, what can I say? So if you got some antique books, throw them in your cabinet of curiosities, stack skulls on them. And then I've got my meg tooth. This is a real meg tooth. It's not a replica. It's heavy as hell. This thing probably weighs 4.5, 5 pounds in my hand. I did mold this, and I actually make these and sell them and put them in my Etsy store. I just love sharks. Sharks are amazing animals. I have a couple such of jaws like we saw at the beginning of the video. But this is a real megalodon tooth that popped out of his head. Now this is an average size tooth, good size tooth. There have been teeth found that are like 9.5 inches big. And those are multiple $1,000 teeth. But this thing is super heavy. I love it. I like to get a few more in different sizes. I think probably my favorite skull in this whole cabinet I've had for a couple of months, because I'm always kind of looking and creeping for new stuff, is my little vampire deer skull, or muntjac. Now this guy is not a gaff. This is very real. The Chinese water deer, they're little tiny, they're like 2 feet long. They're little bitty guys, but man, they're so freaking cool. The males have horns and fangs, and Usually after they're a couple years old, they get their little nubbins on the back of their antlers. There's just a little fur patch. But these guys are super cool. I just love looking at this thing, man. It's super lightweight. Just another really cool thing to put in a cabinet. So I'll put him back. But yeah, this is a muntjac from, I think, Indonesia, China. But just a little dinky deer is what it was. And people ask, oh, is that real? You know, yeah, very real. So it's cool that you can sort of mix and match your stuff and not have, you can have fake stuff along with just your regular taxidermy. Let's see, this is my mountain lion. I get another skull that's kind of hard to come by. This is a cougar or mountain lion, very real. Another one of my favorite skulls. And they're getting hard to come by. Guys don't like to part with their lion skulls, so again, very real. One of my very cool favorite skulls. I love this thing. I think I showed this in some of my earlier taxidermy videos, which will be linked below. And on my bottom shelf, I mostly just keep masks. Let me pan down. We'll take a look at the bottom shelf. Okay, YouTube, so my bottom shelf is basically an expansion shelf. I keep a couple of my masks there, my Beastcraft Spider, my Beastcraft Vampire. I keep a couple of my bigger specimens down here. I've got a long-toothed beetle, which is massive. I just love this thing. He is huge, and he is very real. And I've got a 11-spot crab down here. So since these guys are in boxes, I just tuck them in the back. I don't have to hang them up. They just kind of freestand, which is great. And another one, 11-spot crab. Again, very real. Not a custom paint job. Super cool. I love it. This is one of my favorites. And I keep a couple of my other gaffs down here. So on my Facebook group, Cobwebs and Candlesticks, you guys might have seen this guy, a little voodoo skull from Haiti. Again, not real, fake, totally fake. Magumbo, kind of working on him a little bit, but again, you can mix and match anything in your cabinet you want. That's the great part about having these things, is they're all just conversation pieces, so why not? And then I think my last thing I have in here in the bottom is my demon skull. So this is, again, fake. It's built on my channel. It's an Amazon skull that I aged and add little horn nubbins. And I went ahead and added little hooks like an old school museum piece. So you can pop the cranium cap off and look inside. And I went ahead and I took an old protractor and I made it where you can screw it and the mouth opens and closes to make it look like an old museum piece. My haunt is sort of like a, I like to show like a old school exploring pieces from around the world, sort of like that have been collected, so it looks like an old cabinet of curiosities. So I'll stick him back down here, and then I can always move a mask out if I get a bigger piece to tuck down here. But the last thing I worked on for my cabinet, since I just got this done, kind of all filled up, I got most of my specimens in here. I do have a seahorse, I don't know where the hell that's at, I'll have to go find that. But I recently just put lights in this thing. So that way at nighttime I can light it up. They're LED lights, and all I used was the strip lights from Amazon. Super cheap, 15 bucks for the whole kit. Comes in like 20 some colors, so let's take a look at the lights running. Take a look at it. Okay, YouTube, so like I said, for 15 bucks off of Amazon, I got me a little rope light LED kit, and bam, check it out. Well, we can do disco colors. There's a whole slew of colors you can run through. Red. Got the little sensor down in the corner, got wiring through the drawer and out the back. Got green, blue, man, you could do light blue. Depending on how you want to set the mood. I use like the orange amber colors, pretty cool. You go straight white, which gives kind of an eerie look on all the skulls. There's all kinds of little different things on here. Fade, jumping colors, so this is just the kicker for this cabinet. So all I did was hide a little LED strip right behind the ledge, shines back against the skulls, lights everything up, and I can just set the lighting however I want it. Orange, red for creepy, green for like a graveyard, blue. Pretty cool. I love it. That's a $15 fix. Okay, YouTube, so that's my cabinet of curiosities. I did actually go ahead and I found my seahorse specimen, so that's pretty cool. I'll have to make a little space in there for him. So as always, if you guys got questions or comments, leave them below in the comments. If you got a question about anything specific, just hit me down below. Like I said, I'll link videos for everything I have. I'll put them in the description below if you guys want to check them out. And as always, go check out my brothers in the Trio of Terror, Vic at Monster Misfits, and Dave at the Weird Kid Show channel. Guys, it's Halloween for us every day. We're constantly building a project or putting our heads together for something. So get a chance, go check out Cobwebs and Candlesticks on Facebook. Join the group and show us your cabinet of curiosities you got and we're your own specimens. So until I see you guys again, keep it evil. Baby, go get my bald eagle out of the closet. It's underneath the manatee hide. I'll put that baby in the cabinet, huh? You want to be that baby in the cabinet?